Good morning, Crammers. My name's Kyndall, and I am back again on bright Monday morning to talk to you about today's cram. So it's December 16th, and here are your today's highlights. So first off, Lebanon is definitely not feeling the love this morning. Why? The background. Meet Saad al-Hariri. He's Lebanon's former prime minister who stepped down back in October after the October Revolution, aka weeks of mass protest over decades of political corruption and poor government management that apparently didn't end with Saad al-Hariri. Only one problem. Hariri is back. Just months later, he's expected to be put in charge of Lebanon's next government. Scene, set. The happenings. Surprise, surprise. No one is happy about this development. Cue mass protests. Protests that turned violent last night as demonstrators clashed with security forces. Tear gas, water cannons, and rubber bullets were reportedly used against protesters, who in return threw rocks and firecrackers at law enforcement. At least 46 people were hospitalized, with dozens more treated for injuries on site. The reaction. The violence, which lasted for hours, is being labeled as one of the most violent nights since these protests started, and could mark a turning point. Hint, some Lebanese leaders have already shaken their heads to joining any government led by Hariri. Yes, really. All of this comes as the country is facing an economic crisis that's led to upping prices, salary cuts, closed businesses, and mass layoffs. So, what do we do? What's next? There's no clear path forward for Lebanon when it comes to both its government and its economy. Once again, TBD, TBD, TBD. Now, time for some action. The action. Asia, North Korea, got its first New Year's resolution all figured out. We'll remind you. It's no secret that President Trump's had a rocky relationship with North Korea. Case in point, recently North Korea announced that it did a crucial test at its long-range rocket launch site. This makes the second test the country's done at this site in a week, and comes as North Korea has given the U.S. until the end of the year to make a move in those nuclear negotiations. Reassuring. Speaking of which, the U.S. and China are said to have reached phase 1 of their trade deal, which would reportedly double U.S. exports to China over the next 2 years. And in other news, the U.S. secretly kicked out 2 Chinese officials suspected of spying. Doubly reassuring. Politics. The Trump impeachment process is heating up, much unlike this weather. So, quick refresher. Last week, the House Judiciary Committee voted along party lines to go forward with impeachment, meaning it's now up to the House of Representatives. That vote's expected to come as early as Wednesday, 2 days from now, so make sure to tune back in to listen to what happens, with Democrats only needing to snag a majority vote to make things official, just like our Instagram account now. From there, it looks like the Senate impeachment trials are slated to begin January 6th, with 4 witnesses already called to court. Stay tuned and turn that volume up. Meanwhile, the Trump team's reportedly gearing up to remove around 4,000 troops from Afghanistan, which is currently home to between 12,000 and 13,000 American troops. This comes as the U.S. is restarting peace talks with the Taliban. World. All eyes are on the COP25 summit. You know COP25 as that climate change conference that brought about 25,000 people from all over the world to Madrid to talk solutions. This includes heads of state and government, business leaders, scientists, and activists. Greta Thunberg. Problem. Since the summit didn't exactly go according to plan, hint, it was extended by 2 days and still ended up with no clear agreement or big decisions. Not good. In other news, everyone's talking about this Georgia youth minister who slapped a reporter's backside on live TV and has now been arrested and charged with sexual battery. Now, what to know? $1 billion. That's how much Frozen 2 has now made at the box office. Not for the first time in forever. Say what? People lost their minds. A journalist listing Popeye's chicken sandwich as one of the food stories that defined 2019. Mind lost. Okay, so I'm Kyndall, and that was your today's cram. I will be back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to read you all of the week's news, so make sure you press that follow button. And if you're not already, press the link in the bio to subscribe to our email list, and make sure you read the cram online and listen to it here. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, crammers.